Woo! Woo, woo. Getting hyped for the night.
This episode feels different. Has a different vibe to it. What's going on?
Kind of animal, I guess.
Well, definitely look perfect.
I appreciate the dedication to the pun. I really do.
Comedy at its finest. Thanks, Paula.
Superb. By the way, if you're hearing a little background noise, there is traffic in my area, so do excuse us. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, who's got the question today? All right, I'll come up with one. So, but before I do that, I'm going to say hello and welcome to all of our viewers. You are on a very special Throwback Thursday. Today is so special because, in fact, this is the last episode of our first season of the Arghon Twitch channel. So you're tuning in, you're going to get some really cool stuff. But before we get into all of that, be sure to follow us on social media at ArghonAI. We are an artificial intelligence company. We've built our AI called Arghon. It's a lifestyle enhancing super companion. So definitely go to arghon.com and check that out. It's the link at the top of the screen. We are here on this channel to basically share and explore what it means to be an AI, to use AI, imagining a world with AI. And today's episode is going to be our Throwback Thursday, where we talk about technologies or processes or ways of doing things as they were in the past, as well as how they will be in the future. And so today's topic is about the history of birthday parties. Woo! So we'll get into that. But before we do, we like to warm up with a random question. And for the ladies, I will come up with a random question.
We know it's about to be a hard one.
I know.
Yes. I do.
Okay. Oh, I'm dreading it. Okay, so this is gonna be it's gonna be a would you rather, and it's gonna be a would you rather have the ability to fly, but you can only fly 30 miles within like a 30-mile radius of where you are, or have the ability to time travel, but you can only ever go back maximum 1 week. Regardless of where you are, it's like only 1 week is the time span you can go back. What would you rather?
Whoa. Sorry, just whoa.
Whoa.
See, I was like, time travel. Oh, and then you said a week, and I was like, oh. I remember what happened last week.
Only a week.
Yeah, you can only fly a 30-mile radius, or time travel, and it's go back a week.
I have an answer, but with my answers, they're never quite.
Say it. Go ahead.
They're never quite straightforward. Okay. Maybe if I've always had this ability, I would just keep on replaying like the happiest weeks of life, maybe. But I mean, no, I'm changing my answer. I'm going to do the teleport thing, the teleporting.
Teleporting
because
flying.
Time travel, not teleporting.
It's flying or time travel.
Okay, flying. I'm gonna do the flying. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do the flying.
You tried to do the third option.
Adding a whole different level to this. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm gonna do the flying within a 30-mile radius. I figure if I fly someplace far, going someplace 30 miles in either direction, it's kind of like a fun day trip without having to spend the time or money to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm gonna do the flying. I'm gonna fly.
So Ashley D has commented saying hello. Hi Ashley D, thanks for tuning in.
Hi, Ashley D95.
I would choose the time travel, even though I could only go back a week, as I don't like heights, so I wouldn't be able to fly.
That's fair.
That's understandable. Yeah.
See, no, I'm not. I was all excited when I heard time travel, but as soon as you said just a week, I was like, no, nothing exciting happened a week ago. So definitely flying, because for me, I feel like I'm in kind of a good position where if I kind of go 30 miles in different directions, I can get to a few cool places. So I'm going flying. And plus, traffic, you don't have to sit in traffic. So as Paula said, it saves time, and I don't have to get road rage from sitting in traffic. So flying.
But if you could fly, if you could go back a week, there's nothing that says like you can only go back a week and it's specifically where you are. It could be a week, while you're on, like you said, like Paula said, on vacation, or maybe you found out something terrible happened. You can go to that place, and then with a week, you can actually help change it. You could change what happened.
Ashley D has just made a good point, though.
Do some like crime fighting stuff. Go ahead.
Ashley D has just made a good point, though. And if I knew the lottery numbers, I could go back and pick the right numbers to win big. Oh, he's doing some Back to the Future stuff. That's clever. I didn't think of that.
You know what?
You gotta
That's a great option. That is a great option. You play those lottery numbers.
See, each scenario, there's always some other level that you can kind of think about with it.
Mm-hmm.
I like to do would you rather's like that because it's the creative one wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but those are good answers. They're all good answers, ladies. So thank you for that.
What's your answer? What's your answer?
My answer would probably be the time thing, just because I could. I mean, it's you can maximum of a week, but if I want to go back an hour and fix something or give myself a little more time to prepare for something, I just think time is the one resource you don't get more of, and so finding a way to get more of it, I think that's a different kind of wealth. In addition to lottery numbers or that kind of thing. But I think flying, like you can get to another place, but I just think the way that going back in time, and you can also get to a place, you're late, and go back and then get there early. Like there's just so many different ways that you can make switching time work for you that you almost get on some level a more convenience to me than just flying.
Yeah, you know what, Lauren? When you're talking about this, all I can keep on thinking about in my mind is how time really is its own currency. It is so important. Even when I said the ability to fly, you're saving time by flying those places instead of having to travel. It comes down to time a lot of the time.
Exactly.
I worry about messing with time, though. I've seen a lot of movies, and if you mess with it too much,
who says that movie has to be what your narrative is?
But we don't know, though.
We're writing our own rules, so who says that has to be the case?
Because even though you go back, your past self will still be there, so that means you couldn't necessarily be in your own space.
But you would know that you have the ability that you have, so you would be like,
what if?
Likely, I just need to change something. Excuse me.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
What if a week prior you didn't know you had that ability and it was like your first week?
Oh, it would go, Paula.
I would explain it to myself. Me would get it. I would explain it to myself. I have no issue with that. If I came back and said, I'd be like, all right, tell me something that only I would know, so I know you're not like crazy.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, all right, because I know I'm not nuts, so I would talk to myself.
There you go.
That's a movie plot right there.
Hey. Movie plot. Yeah. All right. So thank you, ladies, and thank you to Ashley95 for their input. All right. So are we ready to talk about birthdays, birthday parties, how it was, how it is, how it will be? Mm-hmm. Okay, and of course, if you have any comments or questions about what we say here, be sure to leave us a message in the chat. Additionally, if you're looking at this on any of our other social media, like when this hits the YouTube page, that's youtube.com/Arghon, ARGHON. Definitely leave a comment. Let us know what you think. And be sure to follow us on all of our social media handles. That's at ArghonAI, so that we can keep this conversation going. Share this with your friends and let us know what all of you think. All right.
Yay.
So, birthdays. It's a tradition that's been with us for quite a while. But basically, what is a birthday? It's a time for friends and family to come together and celebrate your birth. And it's essentially the anniversary of one's birth. Now, birthdays weren't really a thing prior to the creation of the calendar, right? If we can't mark time, we can't know when we're born. So essentially, this was calendars began with the study of the moon cycles and paying attention to change in seasons, and that's how we began to notice there was a pattern in time and their repetition, and therefore we could do things like marking days of birth. And some of the earliest recordings of births and birthdays occurred, as far as what our recordings say, in Egypt. So this is around 3000 BCE. And essentially, pharaohs' birthdays were recognized, but birthday for them wasn't the same as the birthday we know. Birthday in ancient Egypt referred to the pharaoh's day of birth as a god. So it was believed that when the pharaohs were basically crowned or came into their pharaohship, their reign, they were birthed as a god. So this day would be celebrated every year. And in pagan and Greek, ancient Greek rituals, there was this belief that every person was present. The spirit was present on the day of their birth and kept watch. And there's a lot of mysticism and mystical elements to that. So can you go on to the next?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's talk about who did the parties and the birthday thing upright. Well, the Greeks were next. In Greek culture, they often made sacrifices and tributes to their gods, and there was the lunar goddess Artemis, and to Artemis they would create these moon-shaped cakes. And this is actually where the birthday candle comes from, because they would actually put candles on the cakes to represent the moon's light. And so this was done for Artemis, the lunar goddess. And this was kind of like a reference to her radiant beauty. And it was a symbol of prayer, right? Smoke going up to the heavens. And so, all of these good wishes going up to Artemis. And so blowing out the candles was a way to get that heaven or that wish to the heavens, to Artemis and whomever. So we have the Greeks to thank for that. I think you can go to the next one as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that's where the concept of birthday candles and blowing out candles came from.
Hey.
So they were seen, basically Greeks adopted the Egyptian tradition of celebrating the birth of a god, right? So this is how we had these birthdays. So these lit candles were in response to spirits and eliminating darkness. Just a really great, rich history of, celebration and protection and prayer. So this idea of, the noisemakers, when you blow, and it like makes that sound, all of that was supposedly to ward away evil. So that's where all of these birthday traditions come from, which is amazing to think about. So then next we had, the ancient Romans were actually the first to celebrate the birth of the common man. So this is not the deity. This is not the pharaoh or king as deity, but instead was for, celebrating not regular non-religious figures. So essentially, Romans who were turning 50 would be given cakes of wheat, flour, olive oil, and grated cheese and honey. And so those were, the birthday cakes that were celebrated. But at this time, only men's birthdays were celebrated. Women's were not celebrated until around the 12th century.
Okay.
Do with that information what you will. Can you go to the next one?
It was just too busy eye rolling. But
That's in history, right?
yeah.
Good thing is we progress. So in the Christian circle, so this is Roman Catholic, it was believed that birthdays were not originally celebrated because it was believed that everyone, that picture that you're seeing right there is actually a birthday invitation written, I think, in ancient Greece. So birthday invites have been a thing for a long time. All right, if you could go to the next one.
Yep.
All right, yeah. So in the Roman Catholic tradition, due to the belief in original sin, birthdays. There was this belief that birthdays were tied to the pagan gods, and so the celebration was considered evil. This was believed for a few hundred years, and until basically around the 4th century, when that way of thinking was just kind of abandoned, and they began celebrating the birth of Christ, also known as Christmas. And then it was done partially to recruit those who celebrated the Saturnalia, and that was a Roman holiday. Yeah, so those beliefs began to shift. But let's talk about the birthday cake, right? That oh so delicious, oh so yummy, element of the party that we all have come to know and love. That is, one second, I'm pulling something up. That is from, I think you can go on to the next slide. It should show it. I just want to make sure I don't get it. I don't want to spoil it. Birthdays are fun.
They are fun. And your description of the first birthday cake, they make a lot of olive cakes now, like olive oil cakes. That's what that sounds like,
Yes, it does. I thought the same thing. All right. Okay. So cool. We have the image up. So yeah, the birthday cake as we know it today was actually invented by German bakers. And so, when this cake was celebrated, you had, birthdays were celebrated in China. You had Kinderfest, which was in the 18th century. And this is essentially where they would celebrate German children. And it featured a cake adorned with candles. And so they were each given a cake for every year a candle, for every year they'd been alive. A cake for every year you've been alive? Wow. Yeah, they were each given a candle for every year they've been alive, plus one in the hope of achieving the next year. And again, blowing out the candles, it was seen as a way of making their wish come true. And so, what made parties something that truly anybody and everybody could have? Well, that was the Industrial Revolution. Sugary cakes became something that, previous to the Industrial Revolution, it was only the very wealthy who could afford a luxury like a very sugary cake, all of those ingredients, the flour, the sugar, and so on. But the Industrial Revolution allowed the proliferation of mass production. So bakeries were making all kinds of cakes, pre-made cakes, and the prices went down. So that is why everyone truly could have access to birthday celebrations. And again, we're seeing it move away from for a religious purpose to just, again, everybody, everywhere. Happy birthday. All right. So you have a cake. What are you going to do? You're going to, before you blow out the candles, your friends and family, your loved ones, typically sing a song, right? You sing a song of birthdays. A happy birthday song. Happy birthday to you. And I'm not going to sing the rest, but essentially it's a tune we all know. Well, where did that come from? The happy birthday song actually was created by two sisters. And you can go to the next slide. And these sisters were Patty Hill and Mildred J. Hill. They were teachers at a Kentucky school, and they created a song called Good Morning to All. Good morning to all, right? So essentially those words were just remixed, but this was in 1893, and the song was published in a book for teachers. So, it was just to be sung to students, and you can go to the next one. for the start of the school day. And yeah, so essentially different variations were made, and it became, I think Robert Coleman adjusted it in 1924 to become the birthday song. And yeah, so the song was used in a musical, and essentially from that it just proliferated and became something that is sung all over the world, really. And there is a belief that there's a copyright on this song until 2030, and the copyright owner of the Hills estate, the two sisters, makes about $2 million a year off of that song, which is kind of amazing. Which is kind of amazing. Let's see.
That is crazy,
isn't it? Like, yes, forever.
And it's not like a Christmas song. Like, it's literally all year round. All year
round.
And something most people celebrate. So birthdays will always be there for someone to celebrate. Oh, genius.
Now I want to make sure I get this extra bit of information correctly. So let me just double check it before I give you all the wrong one. Okay. So, is it this one?
This conversation is making me so happy, though. I love birthdays.
Good. So I want to talk about the tradition of gift giving, but I cannot currently find the access to that one. So let me see if I can do a quick look. Bear with me, everyone.
Yeah, no worries.
It's okay.
Birthdays. Oh man. I love a birthday. I love a birthday.
Just happy, isn't it? So happy and
I think is this it? Are we about to? So ladies, yeah, you can chat amongst yourselves about all the great things that are coming.
Yeah.
As it relates to birthdays and your experiences and just, great memories. Share with us some of the fun memories, if you have them, about your birthday.
I mean, every birthday is great. But I mean, yeah, just even speaking about birthdays, we've all been sat here with a massive smile on our faces. Isn't that crazy? But yeah, it just brings us so much joy because it's, a time for celebration. It's a very, family friend oriented thing. So it just, you always get that really warm, happy feeling.
Yeah.
I can't think of any memories, but I just fun. I love it.
I think it's always nice when you have people singing to you with well wishes.
Yeah.
Like you can't not feel that. Oh, great. Here we go. I have it. All right. Let's talk about the birthday gifts. Okay. So, when did that tradition start? About the 5th century BC, the Greek historian Herodotus, I might be saying that wrong, forgive me any Greeks if you're listening, my apologies. So the tradition of birthday feasting kind of, was existing at that time, but it wasn't until the start of the 1st century that the Roman custom of celebrating the birthday of friends, family, with, consumption of wine and celebration existed, and it was so extravagant and, what have you. That's part of it. They were actually just giving gifts to each other. It was considered part of the celebration. So somewhere around the 5th century, we've been giving gifts for a long time. Okay. So let's see.
Quick question though. Do you prefer receiving gifts or giving gifts?
I think it all depends on who the gift giver is.
I prefer giving. I am known to give quite good gifts. So I just like seeing people happy, and it's like not that fake happy. We're
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You're
oh
like,
wow,
thanks.
thanks.
Love, love, love to give gifts. If you can like make a gift basket of all the person's favorite things, and then they open that basket, it brings so much joy to my heart and life. I'm just like, could do that every day. It's the thoughtfulness,
Yeah.
but how you were saying, it really does depend on who is giving the gift. That's a thing too, because if they know you, it's like it's thoughtful. It really is so sweet. But I love to give gifts. I ask all the right questions before said holiday or birthday or Christmas to know exactly what are they for in the perfect present. Just
Yeah.
kidding.
But that's it. I mean, the art of it is really just about knowing the person,
Mhm.
you know. And I think part of why when you get a gift that isn't quite as thoughtful, you're almost like it's. I don't want to tell you it's a bad gift, so I'm going to say it's great. But so sometimes I think for that reason it's just easier to give gifts because you don't have to deal with faking if it's like a terrible gift, but
It's
you're like
on.
so excited.
It's on them. They have to do
It's on them.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, I think what I like about giving a gift is it helps you. It's almost an exercise in what do I understand about this person? How
Yeah.
can I encapsulate us? Usually it's them, but I think it also is an us because it shows you're paying attention.
Mhm.
So it depends. It depends, but also I don't know if I said this specifically, but essentially when the Roman emperor would be when they would celebrate his birthday, we're assuming it's a him, right?
Mhm.
You know, the concept, the custom of raining that person with gifts and just giving a bunch of extravagant gifts, that is really where all of that was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is so the celebrations that we have today, the birthday cake, the gift giving, we're actually really engaging in a very centuries old, millennia old tradition. And there have been varying starting points and end points and religious inflections and social permutations, only for the wealthy, now for everybody, all of that stuff. But I think in the end, we all just love celebrating and celebrating each other. So I think that's why this tradition endures so successfully, right? And let's see. So yeah, so today, it's a little different today. Birthday celebrations in this very day today are not quite the same. So if you could press the next one over.
Mhm.
So we are in the time of the coronavirus. And unfortunately, that means that things like getting together to blow out candles over a cake, are not quite happening as they once were. It is purely for safety reasons and the smart choice to not engage. But what we find is that people find a way to make tradition happen even when there is no, as there is disruption. So now, what do people do? They actually still have parties, but generally you'll see them be either distanced or virtual.
Yeah.
So can you go to the next one?
Yeah, of course.
So the distanced birthday party. In your car, people will have drive-up birthdays. So you'll see a lot of times people will have a table set up outside. They'll put cupcakes or cake slices outside. They put a sign and balloons, and so people can drive up and celebrate, but they're maintaining their distance with each other or from each other. And but it's still a way to kind of get together. I think we use in some ways our vehicles, if we're lucky enough to have them, as a means of separating. And where that's not possible, of course, there's masks and gloves and things like that. But generally, birthdays, given that they're not seen as an imperative experience, it's not work or something where it's absolutely essential. Generally, people will find creative ways, like having a drive-up birthday where they honk the horn and they all share, someone plays music, and we find a way to commune even separately. And then specifically things like virtual birthdays. So that might be hopping onto a streaming call, various platforms that will have video call or chat, and in fact, I've experienced that as well. And ladies, you can talk about that. What have you experienced, a birthday party in this time, and what was it like?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, we're all going through this very strange time. So my birthday was in May, so I had, an isolated birthday, which was very weird. I'm very family like based. So yeah, it was very much like phoning, FaceTiming, just so again you can have that kind of face to face without putting people in harm. So yeah, there's a lot of family birthdays as well that went sort of, through the UK lockdown.
Yeah.
But again, just having that technology to kind of, yeah, connect one another and still be able to hear one another's voices and actually see each other was really nice. And definitely kind of, although it wasn't as great as being able to hug and be there in person, it was still really nice to just have that connection with one another.
Yeah. Sounds great.
Mm.
It's not great to have the circumstance, but it's great to find a way. And I think that's a testament to the human spirit that we still find a way to have these birthdays. And if anything, it's one of the reasons we can have hope, right? We will find a way to have fun. We'll find a way to make it enjoyable. Paula.
Just
Oh,
want to
go ahead.
interrupt 1 second. So we've got Guts Wick commenting saying, "Hey mate, Joe sent me to your stream and it's very cool. Hi, welcome."
Glad to have you here.
Um,
This is the Arghon channel. We are an artificial intelligence company. Go to the website at the top of the page, arghon.com, arghon.com, to learn more about us. And yeah, so we're having this wonderful episode. You caught us on the last episode of the first season, and we'll be coming back again for the next season. But for all those videos that are currently up, you can just go to the videos tab here on Twitch and look at those. But as well, you can check out our YouTube channel. So that's youtube.com/Arghon. And you can see all of the videos that have expired on here, and just check out the Twitch, all the past Twitch streams. So thank you for joining us, and stick around because we're gonna be talking about birthdays and celebrations. So awesome. Paula, did you have anything to comment about as far as what are your thoughts on birthdays as they have been to the present?
well, I mean, first off, Jess, with what you said, I hope you felt just as celebrated and appreciated on your birthday as you would have, regardless of social distancing and everything. Um, I think that is something that the sentiment and the thoughtfulness behind birthdays. I think people are getting more creative with how they express that care and love for someone. So I'm happy that you could still do a birthday during this time. Um, I don't know because my birthday was late February, so it was
Just got right in underneath that door.
Yeah, you got it before. Yeah.
literally like maybe a few weeks before everything just completely switched. Um,
Yeah.
Even thinking about what I did for my birthday, I'm not going to get into it, but like you have to make certain changes in how life is run now. But I do believe that I would have been fully celebrated no matter the time
Hmm.
and no matter the restrictions. I do feel that I would have received all of the love coming through that I did on my birthday. Um, I have not experienced a social distancing birthday, but because now everything is done kind of in a recorded way, I have seen friends on different social media platforms. They kind of just like live streamed their birthday, and it was a lot of cars and honking and balloons like on the car, and then people were dropping off presents on a table. But it was kind of like a while in motion. It's like, I love you, bye. And it was like just to celebrate and feel loved and feel celebrated and seen and acknowledged. That it was really special to see. I cannot confirm or deny if I shed a few tears, but it was just that thing of people will make a way. People are very resilient given whatever circumstances they are faced with. They will make sure that whatever they need to do or whatever needs to happen will happen. So um, I it really warmed my heart seeing the like live stream birthday because I was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, nice. This is sweet.
Still a way to show that you care.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, ladies, for that. So yeah, we're talking about the future of birthdays. And you know, it's funny. The future of birthdays looks a lot like the current setup of birthdays, if only because the tradition is just so enduring. You know, I mean, again, cakes, moon-shaped cakes with candles for years of birth that we blow out. I mean, the tradition has lasted, and it has been pretty much unchanged. So I think when we talk about the future and projecting forward, in a time beyond the coronavirus, I think we can imagine some similarities there. But when we talk about technology, adding AI to the experience, what we actually see is some of the things that have been changed about birthdays because of the, you know, COVID-19 experience. Some of that stuff is going to remain as well, right? Things like having virtual parties, right? A video call party. We're going to see, but also an increase in things like outdoor events, having an outdoor movie night where people can, you know, stay 6 feet apart and there's, you know, the expanse of air between them. Things like scavenger hunts, streaming entertainment, streaming parties where maybe you're all watching something, a movie party, but that way, again, parades, video cards. You know, there's going to be remote karaoke. There's so many different, you know, live stream a remote sleepover for, you know, kids or
Mm.
those kinds of things. Technology like artificial intelligence is able to facilitate that experience. But again, when we think about birthdays, so much about birthdays is these are businesses. We talked about the Industrial Revolution and how just the mass production of cakes really allowed more people to celebrate, right? Proliferate. Well, when you talk about AI technology, that's about bringing the procuring, the getting, obtaining of various elements: birthday cake, birthday candle, birthday entertainment, so much more easily because, oh, the AI knows your birthday's coming up and knows that you really wanted to have, you know, an Egyptian themed or a theater themed birthday or what have you. And so your AI actually being able to help you gather those items, finding the least expensive or the most in your price range, or perhaps the most accurate version of what you want, right? The AI being able to send and receive invitations and manage your RSVP or your guest list. Being able to actually work with companies, because what are bakeries? They're companies that sell goods. Those goods just happen to be extremely delicious. And so things like being able to share recipes. Hey, okay, if you want to make this cake, it's very similar to the things that were discussed in the stream earlier this week. Being able to share recipes with, you know, if you like a particular brand of, you know, ice cream or icing or a cake from a bakery, perhaps they have shared with your AI, you know, that recipe, and then it's able to purchase those ingredients, have them delivered to your home, and then you're making this cake according to all the specifications, and the oven is preset, and all of these different things and ways that, you know, AI connecting to your devices, your environment, and helping to purchase groceries and whatnot can, you know, facilitate things like buying home decorations, helping you to, again, manage your guest list, or if you are doing a birthday that is, let's say, an outdoor experience, helping you to, you know, if it's an outdoor movie night, stream a movie, or to book tickets in a non-COVID world, book tickets for a movie theater, right? The same way that the AI, and in this case, I'm referring to, it's similar to Arghon because that is the one that we here have the most experience with. You know, being able to, the same way that, you know, that AI is able to help you live your normal life, being able to bring and connect you to the things and services and places and people that you want as a super companion, you know, all that is amping it up for a birthday, right? And we talk about virtual birthdays, you know, and AI helping to facilitate feeling like people are present in the same way that we talk about virtual gaming, right? Where you can feel that someone's actually there. There's no reason why that environment, it doesn't have to be a CGI'd forest and crazy unless you want that, but it could also just be virtually in each other's home, a nice headset, and then the AI helping you with that. So there's so many ways that we can go from just say a flat screen and you know, a live stream conversation to a more personal physical experience as a virtual birthday. So there are so many options. And I think what's really great is, you know, even as we don't necessarily know the exact timeline for things like, you know, vaccines and whatnot, it actually, AI brings a lot of hope because you can use it to facilitate these things that are so integral to human culture and humankind, the celebration of birthdays. And of course, this, as we always like to say as a disclaimer, this is not an all-encompassing view of birthdays. There are traditions within various religions, cultures that vary, right? Different ways of celebrating, or you know, rites of passage into adulthood that are really significant birthday markers. You know, and of course, we encourage everyone to not just look at the links that we have posted here, but also to look for yourselves at just the vastness of how humans manage to celebrate the anniversary of our births. And it's very cool. But the future of AI is really unlimited. There's so much that can be done with that. In the same way, the birthday possibilities are also unlimited. So I'm going to open the floor up to the two of you ladies, and as well for those of you watching in the comments, you know, jot down, let us know. And again, be sure to follow us on our social media. Follow us and friend us here on Twitch as well, so you can get updates when we do come back for season 2. But yeah, so ladies, what are your thoughts on the future of birthdays and celebrating? Woo! What are your thoughts?
Just smile ear to ear, you know, thinking about the future of birthdays, a life imagined with AI in the future, and what birthdays could possibly be.
Yeah.
You know, given the times we are in right now, we are kind of learning as we go, but there are things that will be implemented right now that are going to stick with us for years to come. When I think about birthdays and utilizing an AI such as Arghon, I mean, you can truly curate your own experience for whatever you are seeking out of a birthday.
Well said.
I love the idea. You guys know, always wanted to do ballet,
Yeah.
but you can have a ballerina experience birthday. You know, the AI could have downloaded, you know, maybe a fun birthday class for you and whomever you've invited to your birthday experience to come into that class, and you all have your tutus sent to your house because the AI will know you've already RSVP'd, and all of the I
The
guess
attendee.
props and things you would need for the day to fully feel like you are a part of a birthday, even if you are in the actual same room or if you all are tuning in from all over the world.
Yeah.
Have that real specialized experience that even if, you know, the restrictions lift, to truly have that premium experience. So it not just be a regular ballet lesson, but it be something taught by Misty Copeland already in the system, you know, and
And
your
that's the great thing about what you're saying is then that becomes also a revenue source on multiple ends.
There you go.
And but it's still special. It's unique. It's curated. You know, it's I didn't mention the packages, but you can have birthday packages. I mean, the same way that, you know, venues and event halls will do that, where they package food and the event and the music. You know, there's so many different things. So yeah, well said.
Yes, all of the different companies involved could still be making a profit, you know, not feeling pigeonholed just because, you know, their ballet studio is closed, or, you know, because maybe they cannot be out and about and having lessons with big groups of people. But this is definitely a way that businesses can still thrive during this time.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever the the new rules of life are after this time of a pandemic, there really could be a way that businesses could possibly do better than before. It could be that virtual exchange instead of, oh no, you have to drive all the way here, take a bus, take a train to get to me. It's like, no, with utilizing an AI such as Arghon, the courses are already in there. If you book a birthday package, it's there for you, ready when everyone is ready who is attending the birthday. So not only the ballet time with Misty Copeland, which would be so cool, but also say there is a tea time. Everyone has to make their own tea, but if you're teaming with a tea company, they have sent you all of the tea bags and all of the cream and sugar and tea sets that you need to have your own tea time experience, and utilizing, again, a company such as Arghon that can walk you through the proper tea making experience, because there is a certain amount of minutes that you need to steep your tea bag and everything like that. And, it's a process to be enjoyed, but really oh, go ahead.
On that note, what's so great about it is, you say things like Misty Copeland, and that can people will go, well, that's an extravagant thing, right? But getting onto a platform like Arghon is free, completely free. There aren't any strings. Obviously, if you're purchasing something, you are purchasing something. But to actually get access to this world that we're talking about, and this kind of technology and convenience and enhanced lifestyle is completely free. Again, go to arghon.com and you sign up for Arghon and start using it and talking to it the way that we're all talking to each other right now. But yeah, just wanted to mention that because it sounds so extravagant, but the way in is really easy and really, really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Have your tea time. Let Arghon be the liaison to basically organize all of this for you.
That's what I was going to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm going to hand it over to you, Jess.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, if it's a company like Arghon, truly sort of having a super companion there. And, sometimes birthdays can be quite stressful if you're kind of organising it for someone else, or if it's like a bridal party, your best friends having a baby, all of that kind of stuff can be very stressful. So again, sort of having your super companion there, if it's for yourself, Arghon getting to know you like a friend and sort of knowing your preferences, what your favorite things are, and it can just take care of all of that for you and book all of it for you.
Jess, can you kind of go through for us what a conversation to plan something like that might sound like with Arghon?
Yeah, I mean, you could literally just say, "Hey, Arghon, I've got," or actually, you wouldn't even have to say it because it would know when your birthday is. But you'd be like, "Hey, Arghon, I need to start organising my birthday party. Let's get started." So literally, you can speak to it in that way. It doesn't have to be, "Hey, Arghon, my party is on the 16th, and it literally, you could just be like, "Hey, Arghon, I need to organise this party ASAP. Let's get started right now," and then away you go.
Yeah. And then you're experiencing something like Arghon might ask, okay, do you have a list of people you'd like to invite, right?
Yeah.
And those contacts, when you sign up, you import contacts.
Exactly.
So Arghon is reaching out to those contacts. Okay, you want everyone in your circle? Sure, they're all invited.
Yeah.
If you want, and then you might say something like, Arghon, I really want a pirate theme, right? So I want pirate napkins and I want, pirate decorations and I don't know, no pirated films, but that kind of thing. And so, Arghon will say, okay, would you like to have it be a viewing a movie party? Okay, yes. Well, pirate movies, we have pirate themed movies. Would you like to look at? And so it's truly a conversation.
Back and forth.
Yes, you take it back, but I just wanted to kind of bring that out because it's a great point.
No, and I guess actually we've never really given that kind of example on here, which is great. Again, it really is truly like a conversation with a friend. And as I was saying, like an AI like Arghon will really truly get to know you obviously granted, permissions, all of that. But again, sort of taking that stress away and just being like, hey, Arghon, please, can you help me organize this party? And again, it can connect to different businesses and get the cake sorted. And all of these different things, and it will know dietary requirements, all of those things that normally are quite stressful. Again, it just takes that away and it can do it for you. And I think even the fact of, you were saying about contacts, everybody's Arghon, all of your calendars coming together. And again, it all being taken care of you from Arghon. So everybody's Arghon will know when every single person is available. So be like, right, hey, what date is everybody free? Arghon comes back in real time and is like, well, it looks like the 16th is good. Do you want to do it on that day? Sorted.
So then, that takes away the headache.
Exactly.
That's so great because it takes away the headache of, some people have birthdays that fall at awkward times of the year. Like my birthday is in January, which tends to be after, it's not tends to be, it is after the New Year's and after the holiday celebrations.
Yeah.
So sometimes it can be hard to find a time to settle down. So, and have that party. So, your AI taking care of that means that you are not stressing about what's going to work. When is it going to work? They said they can't, you're not worrying about the guest list. You're not worrying about the invites.
Exactly. It just makes it even so much more exciting because again, as much as we love birthdays, parties, all of that, sometimes if you're organizing it, it can be really stressful. So again, it just takes that away. But the conversation earlier about just truly connecting people really sort of made me feel like, I don't know, it made my chest go funny because again, we are kind of in that point where again, it's not necessarily safe to kind of meet up with different people, but the fact that again, having an AI can truly connect people and again, bring everybody together in times like this is truly something really, really special. So, yeah.
This makes me think about that first scenario on Monday's Flags and Polls episode, talking about the birthday cake. Would you rather the cake shop of 40 years, or would you rather make your own birthday cake? And the thing is that us thinking to the future of what a life with AI involved in the actual birthday planning process looked like, and the fact that it was pretty split down the middle as to what we would choose, because we knew that AI is going to come in and make the birthday party planning process so much easier that we have time to think about whether or not we want to bake a cake, as opposed to, no, we definitely need to have the cake baked by someone, and it'd be like, well, not so fast because everything else has been taken into account. All of your preferences. Say you need balloons. Arghon will already know what your favorite color is. Ask if you're wanting to do a color theme or a scheme, or are you trying to do like a pirate theme? What that looks like. Based on all of our preferences that Arghon has learned from, the party planning experience gives us that flexibility now of, do we want to learn how to bake a cake now? Maybe we should. Maybe that can be a thing. If you all are curious as to what I'm talking about, you can go under the videos portion. And that was our Monday, this most recent Monday Flags and Polls episode. And it was really fun. So give that a watch and let us know what you would choose.
I really liked that, we also, the idea of having the, that bakeries can actually be, sharing their own recipes, and or possibly orders and things being done through the AI. So, that mom and pop, traditional bakery can actually still be connected to, an extremely modern way of exchange, of selling their pastries and their cakes. It's just really cool because AI really does allow for these kinds of, again, centuries old, millennia old, long-standing just traditions to maintain in a world when things are shifting.
Yeah.
And I think, again, that's why we so often, when we talk about AI, we talk about it being this facilitator, this thing that helps you to have the best version of your life, to improve, to enhance your lifestyle. So it's still your life. It's still what you want. But again, with permission, we're able to do all of these things that you want us to, right? It's it's empowering the user to get the best version of the things that they want, which is amazing. Ladies, that is pretty much the time for our episode. Thank you for joining me for this Throwback Thursday episode.
Thank
and it's been brilliant. And for our viewers, thank you so much for joining us for this season. This has been however many months, right? But it's been such a great experience. I think we've all learned a lot. We've all expanded our knowledge. Throwback Thursday was really great as well. You can check out our other episodes here and on the YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/ARGHON to check out some of our other shows that we had as well. We had Throwback Thursday as well as, the Roundup, the Friday Roundup. So there's so much stuff that we've really had a joy in creating in this process for all of you. And we're excited to plan. And those interns that you saw on our Monday episode, we're excited to have all of us together planning, an even bigger, better next season for all of you. And so thank you for joining us, and be sure to follow us. Follow us here as well as on our social media. So that's Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at ArghonAI. So that's ArghonAI. And because the conversation continues. You might not see us on here for the next couple weeks, but the conversation about AI does not stop. This is an amazing evolution of technology, and you want to make sure that you're on it. And we're excited to have you. So ladies, Jess, Paula, it's also been great to be co-hosting with you all. So your final statements to our viewers, as well as just a thank you. Thank you from all of us for being here and for taking the time to learn about artificial intelligence, for empowering yourself by watching this channel. It means a lot, and we're excited to keep serving you.
So Ashley D has said as well, thank you for a great season of streaming. I cannot wait for season 2. Thank you, Ashley D. I mean, I can't believe it's actually been 4 months. And I think, we were talking about, the current time that we're in, this has been quite a lot of the time we've been in sort of lockdown that we've been on here. So in a way, it's been a nice escape for me, because it's been something to kind of look forward to in the day-to-day. So I thank you, ladies, for that. But yeah, just truly sort of empowering myself, learning more about AI, because truly it is really going to be a positive influence in our day-to-day lives. And there's so many industries, so many different things that it's really going to truly impact in a positive way. So again, just go check out our past episodes to see what we're talking about. But I can't wait for season 2 to get the interns in. But yeah, just thank you, ladies, for always being amazing, great people to work with, and just making this fun every day.
Yeah. Paula?
Oh my gosh, our Throwback Thursday episode. What a perfect way to end season 1, talking about throwback as it was in the past, as it currently is, and what a future imagined with AI looks like. Right now in the world, we are having to kind of recalibrate what the future looks like.
Reimagine, reinvent.
Reinvent, really having to take into account and consideration where we've come from as humans, as people, as culture and technology, and ways that we have interacted with life as we knew it before this time, and really having to shift that understanding for the future. During this time, it has really been a source of joy in my life to be able to meet with you all and our viewers at home who are watching. Just a time to chat. What I so love about this Twitch channel is, yes, we are talking about artificial intelligence, but we are also talking about, how we are doing, some of our hobbies. We really enjoy food on this channel, just things that really make the world realize that we're not all that different. Through this time, we look at this channel as kind of like a source of joy and a solace from everything that is going on in the world right now. So we just want to say thank you to our viewers, the Twitch users and viewers, and we want to say thank you for making this experience what it was. That interaction was so special. And we hope that you not only got to learn a little bit about artificial intelligence, but got to know who we are as a company, who we are as Arghon, and what the face of technology should look like for the future. Is be inclusive of everyone. We
Yeah.
hope that your time viewing this channel has let you know that there is a place at the table for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
No matter where you come from, no matter what you look like, no matter what your background is, there's a place at the table, the tech table for you. And we just hope that you have been encouraged by us being here on this channel. If you are curious as to what it means to code, what that looks like, how to get started, um, maybe you thought it wasn't for you in the past, but after watching this season 1, you're like, you know what, I'm ready to upskill my life. Maybe the job sector I'm in is not a field that is going to truly be thriving for the future. Maybe I want to learn some new skills. You can head on over right now to arghon.com/vision 2020. We have provided a platform for you to learn how to code for artificial intelligence. All of the modules are there, all of the resources that you need to truly learn something that will be of real benefit to your life and the lives of possibly the community that you are in. You can encourage them to also learn how to code, as well as practice your own coding. All of that is there for you at arghon.com/vision 2020. If you would like to interact with the AI that is Arghon,
Mm-hmm.
you can go right now to download Arghon right now to all of your devices and just begin the conversation like we've had here on the Arghon Twitch channel. Just talk to Arghon. Let it answer your questions. Let it organize your life. Really let it be the super companion that you are looking for.
Hey.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. This really has been a great time to learn, but also laugh and really be something of a positive experience in these changing times.
Yeah.
So thank you, ladies, for also making this an enjoyable and educational experience. As
Right.
always, it's an honor and a privilege to work with you both, as well as the greater Arghon team that you all do not see, but are just a dynamic team to work with. So thank you all.
Thank
Well
you.
said, well said. And just as a quick bit of information, you don't have to have a previous degree or any kind of foreknowledge in coding to be able to use the Vision 2020 platform.
Mm-mm.
And if you do know how to code, then you might as well get on it anyway. And it's completely for free. So there's that wonderful added bonus. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Hey.
So well said. Thank you very much. And thank you to all of you for watching. Again, follow us and look out for season 2. We can't wait to bring some great stuff to you. So from all of us at Arghon, thank you. And we wish you a really great stream. Bye.
Bye.